Na sua visão, quais fatores biológicos mais contribuem para as diferenças de comportamento entre homens e mulheres?
Okay, so I think the biggest biological differences are testosterone and reproduction. Males typically have testosterone, and that means that when they go through puberty, it sort of unlocks physical changes in their body. So men become much stronger. They're typically like 2.5 times women's upper body strength, like a stronger fist. They can run faster, for example. Just an anecdote, when my brother and I were little, we were just as fast, just as strong. And then when he goes through puberty, he's suddenly so much faster, so much stronger, so much taller. And so testosterone can elevate competitiveness, it can elevate zeal, it can elevate aggression. So that creates a distinct two particular things. One, if men have more testosterone, that can elevate the risk of aggression within relationships. A second issue that actually disadvantages men is that surging energy of testosterone, if it's not properly channeled, can send boys down the wrong path, right? So if you've got teenage boys surging with testosterone, then we want to make sure that they're in a supportive environment, like playing sports, rather than, joining criminal gangs. So it was really wonderful. Yesterday in Santo André, we went to this amazing park by a low-income neighborhood that was really beautiful, really, really pretty, lots of lovely plants, and where boys could play basketball, right? So if you've got all that testosterone, it's great that the boys are playing basketball rather than doing something that's not so safe that could really hurt their futures. Okay, so then the other big difference is reproduction. So, if men and women have sex, there's a chance she could get pregnant. And in Brazil, we have a very, very high rate of teenage pregnancies, right? Especially in the Northeast, especially in the poorer communities. And this means that a girl is so disadvantaged because if she gets pregnant, then she has to pull out of school, and that really hurts her upward mobility, possibly trapping her in an abusive relationship. So here in Brazil, I've interviewed so many women who said, they got pregnant at 14, 16, then they had to pull out of school, and then they're in much more precarious conditions. And if you're living in the favela with 2 children, it's very difficult to gain upward mobility. And that's changeable. So we can overcome our biological constraints, just as boys playing in the park or girls getting an abortion. But those are the biological constraints, and then it's up to society and up to the politics about how we deal with those different biological constraints.